Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the MMA Short Show. It's always your boy, Steven Moustaris. And today I'm going to sit here and try to predict who's going to dethrone every single UFC champion right now. And currently, we're like 2 weeks out from UFC 306 at the Sphere. So it's going to be fun to look back here in a year, maybe 6 months, or whenever it does happen, and see if I was even close to being correctly or if I was way off. Because we all know when it comes to MMA, it seems like some of the most guaranteed picks, some of the most locked picks are the ones that usually somehow shock you. And it's like it's always reverse. And usually titles always switch in the most like probably unpredictable ways ever. So let's get into it. Let's start off at heavyweight. Probably the most poorly managed division right now, at least when it comes to the championship picture. So when it comes to this man, Jon Jones, because as of right now, yes, if people love it or hate it, this man is technically the undisputed champion right now. And I know he's got his matchup with Stipe. I know we got the Tom Aspinall fight out there. But if we're going to keep it honest here, when it comes to Jon Jones, unless he loses to this man Stipe, which I don't think he's going to do, I really, truly think he's going to retire after this next win. And you could call me crazy. You could listen to Dana White and say, oh, he's too much of a competitor. He's going to take that fight no matter what it is, if it's Tom Aspinall or if it's Francis or whatever. But I think it's been pretty evident in the past that this man, Jon Jones, moves at his own pace. This man has been pretty open out there for months now, maybe even a year, up to a year now, where he's been pretty vocal on, when it comes to tweets and when it comes to replies and everything, where he's saying he might retire. It's been out there forever that his plan was probably to beat Stipe and then go on and to retire. So I think after that Francis Ngannou shenanigans where everybody was calling him scared and that's the fight he needed to have, and when he was down to do it, the UFC couldn't even keep Francis, and now that he's on to the PFL, now it's just a new song and dance. Now it's just a Tom Aspinall, a new face. Like, I truly don't think he feels he needs that fight. So if he goes out there and beats Stipe, who, yes, he's 43 years old, but he is argued to be, the heavyweight, greatest of all time. I get that, but I truly think Jon Jones retires. So when it comes to this man, Tom Aspinall, this is where it gets tough, dude. I don't know if there's a single person out there that's going to beat him. As a biased fan, as a Jon Jones guy, if Jon Jones doesn't retire, I would like to pick Jon Jones as the only one that maybe could get Tom Aspinall, just because I really think Jon Jones' game plan and execution and everything, it's one of the greatest things we've ever seen in our life. And I really think he can maybe expose the wrestling a little bit of Tom Aspinall. But outside of that, man, unless we're talking Surreal Gone, maybe getting maybe a 5-round decision, just point fighting and just keeps away from any knockout power and doesn't get taken down, which isn't going to happen because Surreal Gone clearly doesn't take anything serious when it comes to his takedown defense. I truly don't know who's going to beat this man, Tom Aspinall. It could be some weird one where, Volkov maybe gets a rematch or, who knows, Jailton Almeida. I don't know, man. I really don't know if anybody's out there that's got the talent. So outside of a weird flash knockout or something of whoever, who is there right now for Tom Aspinall? So it's almost got to be Jon Jones. But if Stipe beats Jon Jones, there goes those plans. And then maybe Alex Pereira moves up, but I really think Tom Aspinall wipes the floor with him. So that one's going to be tough, man. I think Tom Aspinall might be champion for a while. And if Francis can go out there and, win his fight over the PFL, I think maybe they can get a job done and get him over there in the Francis-Tom Aspinall fight. But what happens if Tom goes out there and beats Francis with ease and beats Jon Jones? Like, who's going to beat this man? So at this rate right now, I don't think I have a prediction because I don't think he's going to lose anytime soon. So unless Jon Jones, I guess I can go with the Jon Jones fight. I guess I just have to say Jon Jones just to pick somebody, but I don't think anybody's going to beat Tom Aspinall anytime soon. So you guys clearly let me know. So when we go to the light heavyweight division, this is where this one's pretty fun because Alex Pereira, Poatan, we all know, everybody loves him right now. He just went out there and took out the whole triple-headed, horse of the division, or the triple-headed snake, or whatever you want to call it, of the division when it came to Jan, it came to Yuri, and it came to good old Jamal Hill. Like, he's already done the damn thing. And he's done it multiple times. Now he's going to fight somebody like Khalil Roundtree, who, if we're being honest here, I'm a big Khalil Roundtree guy, and I'm not trying to sound biased here, but if we're being honest, I think the only people that are even going to have a chance against somebody like, Alex Pereira are going to be the ones that are fearless to stand there with him and actually get the job done. And I truly think Khalil might be able to be the one to knock him out because that man's got power, but at the same time, this man Poatan lives in that danger. So I think he's going to get the job done there. And when we really look at it, I as much as the easy answer is Magomed Ankalaev, I think they keep him away from that. If he goes out there and starches Khalil Roundtree, I truly think his next loss, or the next person that's going to beat him, is going to be Tom Aspinall. But for the 205 belt, I mean, my goodness, might have to pick Ankalaev, but if it's not him, I don't know who's going to be it. Like, outside of a Khalil Roundtree knockout. So, bias me wants to pick Khalil, but honest me is probably he moves up. They keep him away from Ankalaev for at least 1 or 2 more fights, just so they can keep him away from him. And I think they might give him the Tom Aspinall fight. He loses that, maybe rushes back a little too early, 38, 39 years old, then loses to Magomed Ankalaev in a boring snoozer where he just gets, taken down the entire time. So that's probably going to be my answer there. But I would love to see a Khalil Roundtree knock. I love Khalil. I love I love Alex Pereira too, but Khalil Roundtree, seeing him knock him out would be kind of vicious. So, especially after his, finish over Anthony Smith, where he's just sitting there about to just throw the hammer down and just, I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, probably Ankalaev. I know it's an easy one, but I think it's because he tries to go up to 225 or, heavyweight, and I think he loses to Aspinall, and I think it changes things. And then, he is almost 40 years old. So, all right. So, when we move to 185, when it comes to Dricus Du Plessis, if I'd have done this video 2 weeks ago, full disclosure, if I'm being honest with y'all, I'm not trying to sound like I know everything here because I don't. This man, I would have picked Israel Adesanya to beat this guy. I did pick Israel Adesanya to beat this guy. So 2 weeks ago in this video, if we're being honest, I would have picked Izzy with that matchup. But now that we know he beat him, bias me wants to come out here and say Robert Whittaker gets the job done against Hamzat and goes on to get that rematch. And I think I would still want to pick Dricus over Sean Strickland unless... Yeah, I'm going Dricus over Sean Strickland. I don't think Sean Strickland's going to be the one, as much as people love Sean Strickland and want him to do it, and maybe he did win the first one, but I think after Dricus just went out there and not only beat Sean, but goes out and beats Izzy the way he does, I think the confidence is an all-time high. So if we're being completely honest with you here, I think, man, if Hamzat Chimaev can beat Robert Whittaker and gets waltzed into the title fight, it's between Hamzat and Robert Whittaker. Those are my 2 guys that I'm picking. Whoever wins that fight, the winner of Robert Whittaker, Hamzat, is probably going to be the one to beat Dricus. And I feel like this is going to be that weird division where it gets like flopped back and forth a little bit here and there. I think just people are just going to start having crazy close fights because 185 is so damn stacked. But, outside of that, I think if Robert Whittaker and Hamzat don't get it done, I mean, my goodness, I wouldn't be shocked at him moving up. And I know it's not technically a dethrone, but he could lose to Alex Pereira. I wouldn't be mad at seeing that fight if he goes out there and beats Strickland and, Alex goes out there and beats Khalil. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at all at that. So you guys let me know on that one. That one's tough for sure. And then when it comes to 170, if I'd have done this video a month ago, another full disclosure, I'm picking Leon Edwards all day over Belal Muhammed. I think most of us did. But now that I got to sit here and look at Belal Muhammed as champion, I know they're going after Kamaru Usman, I'm pretty sure, is the next fight. But if we're being honest with you, I don't think Kamaru Usman, I don't think it's a good fight for Kamaru. I think he's got bad knees, so he's getting a little older. He's already done everything when it comes to that division. I think Belal Muhammed might be one of the worst nights out for Kamaru Usman out there. Not only because Belal could also turn the tables when it comes to wrestling, but I think the grappling, kind of gets X'd out like we have witnessed with Usman when it came to, Colby Covington and, Gilbert Burns and even the Hamzat fight towards the end. He wanted to keep it up. Like, if it's going to come down to just a pure stand-up match, and I know Usman knocked out Jorge, I get it, but I'm telling you, I think Belal Muhammad's got better striking, and I think he might piece up Usman. Like, I don't think it's him. So if we had to be honest here, I think it's going to be Shavkat if he can get that title fight. I don't know when it's going to be, but the reason I'm picking Shavkat, because I think the people that go in there and are looking to actually get the job done when it comes to Belal, I think those are the guys that go out there and get it. If the people that just go out there and fight and kind of grind out and just kind of are okay with a 5-round win, I don't think those guys are going to get it done with Belal. So if it's not Shavkat, I mean, that one's going to be tough. I don't really know who the heck even has a chance. So I'm probably going to go Shavkat for sure all day, and then I think that's going to open up the floodgates for the Jack Della Mandalenas, the Ian Garys. We're gonna see some battles when it comes to this man Shavkat as champion. Or Belal goes out there and just continues to prove the whole 35 and over or 36 and over rule is not true in MMA, and he goes out and takes Usman, takes out Shavkat, calls out Hamzat, goes up to 185. Like, you never know. That would probably be what happens. But when it comes to 155, this is the one right here. Along with Tom Aspinall, I just don't see a clear path for anybody beating this man, Islam Makhachev. Like, Arman Sarukian, sure. Charles Oliveira, sure. Those are probably the only two people at 155 right now that stand a single snowball chance in hell to beat this man, Islam Makhachev, and we've already witnessed it with both of them. I think Islam has come such a long way. I know Dustin Poirier gave him a nice little battle and everything, but Arman and Charles are, I mean, Charles is, but Arman's not the stand-up guy that this man, Dustin Poirier, is. But Charles has the tools. I just don't know, man. I think every time that we're going to see him get rocked like he does, Islam's not afraid to go down. So if we're being honest, I don't think anybody beats Islam. I think Islam runs the table as long as he wants to. And then I think he moves up to 170 as soon as Belal Muhammed gets beat. And I think it's by Shavkat. And then I think Islam goes for it. I think Islam goes for, everything that Khabib should have done. But we all know, I'm not blaming Khabib for not doing this. I'm just saying I think Islam might really get this done. This man is so good everywhere. Everybody's been hyping him up. So if he does lose, it's going to be a 170. And that's going to be a year or two, maybe 3. I don't know. I don't see anybody beating Islam for a while. So maybe retirement, maybe 170 beats him. That's about it. So when it comes to that 150, whatever, 145 now, this man, Ilia Topuria, I get it. This man came out on fire, beat Alexander Volkanovski, the former GOAT. But if we're going to keep it honest here, I'm biased as can be, wearing a Max Holloway shirt right now. My favorite fighter outside of Jon Jones, Max Holloway is going to beat this man, Ilia Topuria. And if I'm lying to myself right now is just, just for the confidence or just for the, just doing this for the reverse psychology, then yeah, please, I'm definitely doing that. But Max Holloway all day has the tools to beat this man, Topuria. But if we're being real here, this is what's going to happen. I think if Topuria does get by Max, I know he's been pretty open to the whole Diego Lopez, whoever wins between him and Brian Ortega. I'm pretty sure he's been pretty open to that. But I don't know, man. I think if it's not Max, I truly think the one that's going to be able to do it, I think it's SeanO'Malley. I think that fight's been brewing for years now. I think they're lining it up perfect right now. If this man Sean goes up and knocks out Merab or beats him at the Sphere, I think they make Umar fight one more time, and I think they put all the chips right now on Ilia and Max. And if Topuria can get by Max Holloway, took out the two pretty much argued GOATs at 145, they let Sean come up there, and if Sugar gets that job done with that length and everything, I mean, my goodness, that would be some wild shit. But if we got to be honest here, outside of them, I think this is another one, just like Islam. I think Ilia, if he runs the table and he does beat Max and he goes out and beats Diego Lopez or Brian Ortega and takes out Sean or something, I mean, I'm just saying right now, I think his next one maybe does go up to 155 and he could technically challenge this man, Islam. I don't think he can get the job done against Islam, but you're telling me this man couldn't beat anybody else at 55? I think 55, Ilia could just do something just for the hell of it, just to go up and just to probably sit back on money, and then he stops fighting. So I'm going Max Holloway all day, but if it's not him, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at even like Aljamain Sterling or something making his way back up there. And you're telling me he couldn't backpack Topuria all night? We've seen him do it to everybody. So I'm going between Max, Sugar, or Aljo. You guys let me know. You guys pick. And then when it comes to the Sugar show, I know there's clear answers out there. I think the only two clear answers are if Merab or Umar can just stick to the game plan, keep this man down all night, 5-round victory of just taking him down and riding him out. Sure, I totally get that. But there's something in me, man. I think he's going to spark this man, Merab. There's something about Sean that I just think is special. Just like we've seen with Silva. We saw with Izzy in his prime. We see with GSP. We see with Jon Jones. We see all these guys. There's just something special about him. Maybe he's not the greatest grappler. Maybe he's not the greatest at some certain things. But this man is so good at certain things, and especially his striking and rhythm and just his distance and everything. It's so impressive that I really don't know. I think he beats Merab. I think he moves up to 45, and if that's how he gets starched or something against like Ilia Topuria or Max or somebody, I mean, then maybe he comes down, maybe he comes back too early, a lot like what I said with with the whole Dricus Du Plessis or Alex Pereira, either one, if they do move up, that might be the chance. But I mean, Sugar right now, the Corey Sandhagen fight, everybody was always wondering. Corey keeps losing right before he gets there. Umar's looking freaking good. I mean, I could totally see that, but I still think they can make an argument for one more fight. So, I mean, if we're being honest here, I'm probably picking he goes up to 145, and that's how he gets stripped, most likely. And then when it comes to 125 for Pantoja to close this video out, I get the whole Amir Albazi. I get that he's super good. I get the Kai Kara France, but when it comes down to it, outside of Manel Cape, I get all that. I really think the guy was Muhammad Makhachev, but we all know he's gone now. So I think Pantoja's got one or two more fights there. I think he can beat Kai Kara France. I think he can beat Amir Albazi. And then from there on out, I think he goes up to 135. And then who knows, if Suga's not there, that could be very fun. Like I think it could be somebody like Evloev or, oh my God, there's so many people. Arnold Allen. It could be anybody there at 135 that's just a little bigger that can maybe, really, Corey Sandhagen, even Piotr Jan, Cheeto. It could be any one of them. I'm down to see it. Rob Font, any of them. I'm down to see it. So it's always your boy, Steven Moustaris. You guys let me know who you guys think are going to dethrone who. And, hopefully we're going to look back here in a year and hopefully I got at least one or two of them right. But it's always your boy, Steven Moustaris. And let's go, baby.